so we're going to be starting our episode, starting our entertainment category for this week. With the movie, I was able to watch Creed over the past week, and it was very impressive. It really feels kind of like, I like the movie a lot because it felt like a Rocky 7, but at the same time it felt like its own original movie. Now it's kind of like going into Apollo Creed's son, as the movie's called Creed. So basically the movie starts off with his son. They show him in a juvenile house because he's always getting into fights. He's in foster care because he's his illegitimate son. So he had him from an affair, Apollo Creed. And he would just bounce around, foster home after foster home. So then, Apollo Creed's wife tracks him down, finds out that, he's his son. And then she brings him in, and then he starts his own career doing some kind of financial thing, but it's not for him. So he quits his job. He gets promoted, and he's like, I'm going to be a fighter. So throughout the movie, he's basically trying to get Rocky, who's like his dad's best friend, to train him. And Rocky's like, he's so old. He's like, I'm done with that life. And then you find out, like in the movie, Rocky has cancer. So what I really liked about the movie is that Rocky is teaching him how to be a fighter when he finally decides to give him a shot. Creed is basically telling Rocky to keep fighting for himself because Rocky in the movie actually refuses to do cancer treatments because it didn't work out for his wife Adrian when she had it. So in a retrospect, it was kind of like Rocky's helping him how to fight, and then Creed's giving him hope to keep fighting on for his life. So I like that about the movie.
A little sentimental.
Yeah, like they're both were helping each other fight their own battles.
That's good.
I like that. What else do I like about it? I like the fights. The fights in this were filmed very differently than they were in the original. Like the Rockies, you had them all
from up high.
Yeah, like this one, like the way the movie was, they had the fight scenes to the point where you're basically. It was right on Creed. It was all like it would just be on him, and it would just show like every blow that he made, or it was. I liked it. The way it was choreographed was really neat. The final fight, I won't spoil it for you, but the way it does end, it kind of hints to a sequel. So when you watch it, you'll see what I mean. But overall, I give the overall movie 9 out of 10. The other thing I didn't really like about it was, I guess the pacing. Sometimes the pacing was a little off, but overall it was funny. Some nice humor. Like there's one part where Rocky's giving him some tips. He takes a picture of it, and he's like, "Oh, you need the paper?" He's like, "No, it's saved in the cloud." And then Rocky's like, "What?"
What cloud?
Because he's so old. You know what I mean? He's like, "What are you talking about?" That was a good part. Of that, I'm excited. I would love to see a sequel if they do make one. But it also ended where they won't need a sequel if they didn't really want it to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's received pretty good praise, and I'm excited to see the next one if they do make one. That's about it. I think I had to chime in, Shane.
Honestly, I hope they do make a few more of the Creeds, being that. Well, there's a bunch of Rockies, so why not try to add on to something that's nice?
It did feel like a Rocky 7. Like, it continued his story, but it also started a new fighter story. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like if they make more, Rocky will eventually die, and then Creed will continue on as this crazy fighter, which is pretty cool. It's like continuing a series, but also rebooting it, which I like about that, which they did with X-Men.
Oh, yeah. I like the way they did that.
Yeah, they continued it, but they also rebooted it because they changed the past.
Yeah.
That's it for Creed. We're going to go on to some. There are a few shows left that haven't stopped, but a lot of them are not going mid-season finale.
Christmas movies.
Yep, Hallmark Channel. Anyway, we're going to be starting off with the second part of that Flash and Arrow crossover. Guys, we're going to be starting the second part of that Flash and Arrow crossover, which is actually Arrow episode 8 of season 4, but the crossover was a 2-part, so it was like Flash and then Arrow. Anything to say, Shane, about the next thing we're talking about?
Honestly, yes. I do want to start just sitting around and listening to what you talk about with Arrow and Flash. Being that, even though I have not seen them yet, I do want to feel as a part of actually hearing it so that I can even get more excited to want to watch it.
Oh, yeah, because, I don't go through everything in the show. I go through some key parts, but,
as we were talking about before.
And I'll give your input on it and where you think they'll be headed next.
Yeah.
So, as we left off, the team isn't fighting Vandal Savage, who is a 4,000-year-old immortal. He's one of the he is a huge villain of the DC. He's kind of like the Thanos, the dark side. He's very strong. He's a time traveler too, so it's very impossible to kill him. So basically, in this episode continues, and in this episode, Oliver finds his son from season 2. Remember, you've seen season 2, right, Shane? Remember in the episode where it was about his mother, how she paid that girl off?
Mm.
He finds her in the crossover in Central City at the end of the last episode I talked about.
Do you actually get to see his son?
Yes, he actually, Oliver, while they're trying to deal with Savage, he's very distracted. Because
Oh my God.
he's kind of like, oh my God, I have a son. So he's visiting her. He said, I don't want him, to be a part of because he's running for mayor now. So I don't want him to be part of that whole thing. I don't want him to be in the news. I just want, And he's like, well, I want to have a relationship with my son. And then he doesn't tell Felicity about it, and they're together. So he's kind of like,
Poor Felicity.
she's kind of like, why do you trust me? And then they're basically over. And then at the end, when they finally had a game plan going against Savage, he goes, him and Barry basically go to face him. And then Oliver's like, Thea, Laurel, Diggle, we have this covered. We don't need backup. And Flash is like, are you sure this guy's really powerful? He's like, no, we got this. We don't need to put anyone else's life in jeopardy. So they go there, and they go there with Hawkman and Hawkgirl because Vandal Savage is trying to kill them because by killing them, he adds more to his lifespan because they're all connected through centuries of time.
Mm.
And then, another interesting part of this episode was Hawkgirl was I know she had powers last crossover episode, so she basically is still trying to figure out who she is. But when they go to fight Savage, not only does he kill Hawkman and Hawkgirl, but he also kills the Green Arrow. And then he takes his staff that he acquired last episode and he destroys the whole world. But, as bad as that sounds,
That sounds really bad.
Barry went so fast, he ran so fast.
He's turned by time.
Then he told Oliver, he's like, listen, man, you gotta... Barry knew that Oliver had a son because before he went back in time, Oliver made him run a paternity test. He got the kid's hair or whatever, and he knows about it. So he's like, listen, man, when we were fighting Savage, your head was not on straight. You really had you really just went in there,
blinded.
Yeah, thinking you were just gonna stop this guy. 1, 2, 3. He's too powerful. And then Barry's like, I shouldn't be telling you this because now we're altering the timeline, and I'll be getting to that part as well. So Oliver's like, well, screw it. We're going to fix everything. We have to make sure Hawkgirl, figures out who she is. Because a big part of why everyone dies because she didn't basically...
Know who she was.
Well, no, she didn't, how do I say? They had a whole plan, but she didn't follow through with it because she didn't believe in herself fully. So she died, Hawk died, and then Oliver just got stabbed, and then Barry took off, and he blew up the whole world. But if he didn't do that, they would have all been dead.
Oh, yeah.
But still, like I said, we'll get to that. So basically, they went in time, and basically, since she's dating Cisco right now, Cisco was able to tell her, you have to get your crap together so we can fight this guy. And actually, she was able to. She had a dream about the first time that they all intertwined. Her Hawkman and Savage, and she realized his weakness, and so they created a counter staff which counters his ability. So actually, and this time when they went for the final fight, Oliver's like, okay guys, we need your help to Diggle. So they all went and they all helped, and in the end, the big fight, they were able to kill him.
Good.
Incinerated him. But that is not the last we'll be hearing from Vandal Savage because, as I said a few weeks ago, I talked about the Legends of Tomorrow trailer. That show is all about him. They're fighting him. He's not dead.
Wait, wouldn't he be just in a parallel universe or
He's a time traveler.
Oh, so
they have
somewhere in time.
So when that show comes on, it comes on January 26th, so it's a Thursday. They're gonna be fighting him again. Now at the end of the episode, the Dark Arrow, Thea's father, he basically took his ashes and I think he's going to resurrect him because he's like, you owe me something. So he needs something from Savage, but from doing that, I feel like that's what's going to start this whole other show that they're coming out with. Now, as I was saying, because they changed the past, you have that sense that there's going to be repercussions, that someone is going to die because of it. And as I said in the very first episode of The Arrow, in the very first review, the end of the episode, it showed Barry and Oliver around a grave, and they were basically like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened." So I'm thinking, from them changing the past is going to cause this person's death, and I think tonight is the mid-season finale of Arrow. So next week when I talk about it, we'll find out who dies, because tonight it's hinted very much that there will be a big character death coming tonight in the mid-season finale of Arrow.
That's really sad, actually.
I know. It's because they changed it. But they would have, it's just, it's been such a good show so far, like the whole series. That's about it for that. I gave the whole episode 10 out of 10. It was amazing. The fight scenes, I love Vandal Savage. He's a great villain. The whole, Flash going back in time, saving everyone. So I really enjoyed it. Anything else you want to add, Shane? Any other thoughts about where the show is headed?
Where it could be heading? No. Honestly, I do have to say one thing, though. From the entire thing, I think the show... What's the new show called that's coming out?
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow. I think what they're going to do is... It's a miniseries right now, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's only going to last one season because of production costs. It's costing a lot of money for all those big stars.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to really last that long, but they will try to push as much information out.
It could be 22 episodes, but that's fine. It's just it's a little mini series. It's cool. It's another part of the extended. DC
How long are the episodes? Do you think?
All the episodes are 42 minutes, but like every one of these shows have been 23 episodes. So we'll see how long they make this show. If it was 23, it'd be awesome because you have all 8 heroes in one show each week doing something. But like I said, it's hard to do that. So with TV costs, because it's a TV show, but it's done so well. So just hope for the best. Excuse me, and hopefully they renew it.
Hopefully,
if they're able to with the budget they have. That's about it. I will be talking about American Horror Story, and wow, what a twist it was this week.
Horror Story. Let's start talking about it.
All right, we're going to be talking about this is season 5, episode 8. So wow, it's come a long way. I think it's 13. So we still have another 5 left. It was a huge, shocking revelation. We finally found out who the 10 Commandments killer was, and it really makes the show put into place. So last week. This is all about the killer. So it's all about John, the detective John. So basically, last week he finds out who the killer was, or who he thought it was. It was a little girl. A little girl was doing the bidding of the actual killer. So all those people that they killed the little girl was doing it, but she was being forced to do it. And then at the end of the last episode, she ran in front of the truck so she couldn't talk. Basically, and that was it. And then this episode he's like, "What the hell just happened?" And then he's walking and he goes back and then he's freaking out and he figures out that the hotel is connected to the hotel, but he doesn't know how. So he goes to this room that she told him to go to, and he goes there, and in the room is trophies. There's one for thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie. You had someone's tongue for
Thou shalt not.
Yep.
Tell lies.
And there's still some commandments left in the trophy, and then you find out that the killer is John.
Did you guys mind erase or something?
Listen, so each time that he went to the hotel and he left,
Oh my God.
Mr. March. So this episode showed how this is possible. The big shocker. So basically, what happened was when he lost his son in the circus. That was all planned. Before he went to the circus, he went to the hotel that night to have a drink because he had a very rough case. And then Donovan, who was dating Elizabeth at the time, brought him to Mr. March. And then Mr. March, who was played by Evan Peters, basically was like, "I think he's the one." So Mr. March made him continue his work from the 1920s.
But it was the best plan because he's a cop.
He's like, "Oh, you're a cop." He's like how do you? He asked him, he's like, "How do you stand on morals, justice?" He's like, "Oh, I think people should get what they deserve, And finally, he had Elizabeth, who, as we know, last episode, he's been making her see him every month. He had her kidnap his son so that he would go after the guy for vengeance. So his first victim was the guy who he made appear kidnap his son.
Oh wait. So basically, he is like a different personality he has, or is it like
Basically.
okay? All right. I just want to clear things
Because
up.
basically when he leaves the hotel and
He's a different
they
person.
showed when he first left the hotel before his son got kidnapped, he woke up in his car. He had no idea how he got there, and he was like, "Oh, I had a weird night." And then his son gets kidnapped. He goes back to the hotel, same thing over again. So he keeps going. And that's why like throughout the whole show, he keeps doing that. Like we were always wondering why his memory was always erased. It's because the hotel did it to him, and it's just it was to stop him from knowing that he's the true killer. So it was very good, very mind-boggling, and I couldn't believe it. And I like the way they did it, because at first I'm like, how is he the killer? But when they actually showed it, I was very impressed.
Blown away.
Yes, like the whole explanation, they showed it all. It was basically a backstory about how he became the killer. So I gave this episode about 10 out of 10 as well because of that. And at the end of the episode, because like I said, he still has a few trophies left open because there's 10 commandments. I think he's only done 7, so Mr. March is like, well, you need to finish my work. And he's like, yes, sir. He's totally brainwashed. It's crazy. And he killed his partner, too. He confessed this all to his partner, the black guy, and the black guy didn't believe him. And then he's like, well, this is for sleeping with my wife. And then he stabbed him. He killed him. There was no other characters this week. It was just Dawn, really. Dawn and Mr. March, all the backstory. So these last few episodes, I've been focusing on specific characters, which I like. It's been pretty cool. I get to learn more about them, how they became part of the hotel and such. I believe there's another episode this week. It might be the mid-finale tonight as well. So we'll be talking about those as weeks go on, but pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be moving on to our next show. It's going to be Z Nation. All right, guys. So we are now on episode 13 of Z Nation, season 2. Any comments, Shane? You want to hear the 5 or 6 survivors have come across in their journey to California for this cure?
I do not.
Okay.
Not yet.
Here we go. So we're leaving off like we did last episode. So this is kind of like a 2-part arc. So last week it was Dr. Curran, the guy that made the virus, is about to inject Vasquez with the virus. And basically, Warren, because Vasquez was trying to kill a scorpion because a scorpion killed his family before the apocalypse. And then Warren was like, wait, make the doctor do it himself to inject himself. So he did, and it appeared like there was an actual cure. And then after that, you find out that Dr. Curran and Murphy are actually injecting these people, and it's actually not a cure at all. It's really...
It's going to accelerate it?
No, it's what it does is that when you inject it, it gives Murphy total control of a human. So the whole gang injected themselves, so he had a whole army at his disposal, basically.
Oh my god.
Right? Basically, that's so they can escape, because they're being basically held captive by this cartel. And then, and then Vasquez is getting interrogated. Okay. Vasquez is getting interrogated by a scorpion. So, and basically Vasquez confessed to him, he's like, I'm here to kill you because you killed my family. And he was like, and then he's basically interrogating to find out what the others are up to. So then, at the right time, the group decided to finally take over. So Murphy made sure that no one attacked them while they made their escape. So they basically got Vasquez and they left. And then after that, unfortunately, basically what they got injected with, it wears off. There's like an incubation period. So then they start going after them in these tunnels, and then that was about that. And then they to further their escape, they unleashed all these Z's, so that helped them. And at the end of the episode, Vasquez gets attacked by a scorpion who chases the group down, and then there's a huge fist fight. And then Vasquez finally avenges his family. He kills a scorpion, finally. That guy's been a pain in the butt the whole season. So they did that, and they took all their nice cars. And they have some nice Camaros, and they're about I think 20 miles from California. So there's only a few episodes left. So, with that being said, I give the episode Yeah, about a 9. I like the whole thing behind it, how they had the whole twist, how it wasn't the cure after all. They're not going to do that until the end of the season. The Z Nation was renewed for a 3rd season, just to let you know. So we will be seeing it again next fall, and I'm excited. It's gonna be another 15 episodes. It's good. I mean, it's been good with ratings and whatnot. And I tell you that my friend knows Doc.
Yep.
Friend from Florida knows Doc. It's crazy. Guy who plays Doc. No, I couldn't get over it. Hopefully I can meet him one day.
Cool. That'd be really cool.
She used to work with him at an ice cream store. Blonde. Like, he has white hair. He's old now, but when she worked with him, blonde. He's all blonde hair. But that's it for Z Nation. We'll let you know what happens in episode 14. That show is not going on break. It's going to continue the whole season until it's over. So it won't be over until probably the end of December.
Sounds good.
Anything you want to chime in about Z Nation?
No, I'm just excited to start watching it, actually.
Definitely. It's a lot like Shaun of the Dead, but at the same time it has those, like, Walking Dead intense moments. So that's why it's such a good show. It's kind of like Zombieland, too, in a way. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. It is very good. All right, and we will actually be moving on to Jessica Jones, episode 3.
So excited. Jessica Jones! Punch the shit out of your arm, like super strength. Alright, so we're going to be talking about episode... Which one?
We talked about the first 2 last week, I believe.
Yep, so now we're going to be talking about...
We missed 2 weeks, that's right. So I'm talking about episode 3. So basically we're leaving off where we left off. So Jessica Jones found out Kilgrave's weakness with the medicine.
Yep.
What is it? Sudafil or something like that?
Somewhere around
It's
there.
supposed to stop him from controlling people that he talks to. It stops his ability.
Yep.
So we're continuing that. Basically in this episode, Trish makes that stupid move and she's like, well, Kilgrave, you come out and confess to all your sins. And he basically sent a cop to go kill her. Simpson.
Yeah, and then...
And then Jessica Jones followed him.
Oh, wait. Don't leave out the part about how she went in there and fought him off, and then she acted as if Trish was dead.
Yes.
Gave her
that was
the
very...
drug.
She because Kilgrave made it clear to Simpson that he had to kill Trish, so she made Simpson believe it by knocking her out with her thing, and then she followed him from there. So basically, after that, she follows him, and then we actually get our very first look at Kilgrave, because we don't see him in the first episodes. He's heavily referenced, but that's about it.
Yeah.
He's a British guy. He's pretty funny. I'm gonna do this and that. But I like, and then that part, he actually gets away, because remember, he fights that whole family that he's been staying in.
Oh my gosh, she freaked out. She's like, I really hope there's only 3 people in this house.
That was so funny. So then he got away, but then we got our first look at Kilgrave, and she just basically tried to get the confession out of him to clear Hope's name. So that's about it for the episode. Will Simpson, if all you comic fans know, Will Simpson is actually the Nuke, and the Nuke is a very major Marvel villain. He is a Wolverine, Punisher, and Daredevil villain. I'm excited to see if they're going to actually expand that, meaning if we're gonna show his backstory into becoming that villain as the episodes go on, basically. That's about it. She's still screwing Luke Cage.
Yep.
Basically, they're having their own thing going. So, what'd you give the episode, Shane, rating wise?
Honestly, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
This entire show, honestly, has been getting me for a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's been very good. It's been rated number 2 Netflix show right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like it. It's being very well praised. That's about it. And I think, actually, at the end of the episode, wasn't she was saying that someone's been following her.
Yeah, and then I hope we're going to find out next episode.
And then she's basically going to investigate that next episode. So we'll find out, hopefully soon, who the spy is. Imagine, who do you think it is? Out of all the characters we have, you got Jessica, you got Jerry, the lesbian lawyer, you got Trish. You could be Simpson, the cop. He could still be under.
I want to say Simpson, honestly, being that he was probably under the mind control. But I don't know. Maybe it is just Kilgrave. He was just watching her the entire time.
Yeah, but who knows? I feel like it's going to be one of those, like, government, oh my god, I can't believe it's this person. But 10 out of 10. I'll let you know what happens in episode 4 next week. And we'll be moving on to our final show for the entertainment category, which is The Flash, episode 9. So now on to The Flash. This is season 2, episode 9, and this is the mid-season finale until next month. So let's continue. So we're done with that 2-part crossover with Randall Savage, and we're moving back on to the Flash threat that they're focusing on, Professor Zoom. He is very powerful. Actually, this episode didn't really focus on him. Basically, if you remember, if you watched Flash season 1, episode 22, Captain Cold breaks out a lot of the villains that they locked up, and the Weather Wizard actually breaks out Captain Cold because he was captured in episode 3. He actually breaks out Captain Cold and the Trickster, who was actually played by Mark Hamill. So, like, when we see the Trickster, reminds us very much of the Joker from the Batman animated series. He has the same laugh and everything, so it is pretty cool. So basically, they're concocting a plan to kill the Flash once for all, but Captain Cold doesn't see a profit in it, so he basically warns Barry that they're plotting against him, and that was the last we see of him in this episode. And then, so Barry basically has to figure out how to stop both these guys, because he lost a lot of his speed during his first fight with Zoom. Now Zoom, even though he's not a threat in this episode, is a big part of this episode. He actually delivers an ultimatum to the Earth 2 Harrison Wells. He's basically like, I will kill your daughter if you don't help me get Flash's speed. So basically, he wants the Earth 2 Wells to make him faster, and then after he's reached his full potential, he wants him to help him take away his speed, and then Zoom will be more faster. And Wells agreed. The end of the episode could get his daughter, so we'll see how that turns out. The whole scene where Barry's fighting the Trickster and Weather Wizard was put together. Weather Wizard's like, if you fight me, the Trickster planted 100 bombs in children's rooms. He pretended to be Santa. He's like, what do you want for Christmas? Here you go. And there's like a line of children just giving out bombs.
Oh my god.
But they were able to, there was Cisco, Wells, and Jay Garrick, the first Flash, were able to come up with a scientific way to basically, counter it, and then they stopped the Trickster and Weather Wizard. And another good, interesting part of this episode was Patty, Barry's new girlfriend. We found out that the Weather Wizard killed her father, and that she was on a revenge path in this episode. And then the Flash was able to talk her down from killing him at the end. And then we also get that big reveal at the end of the episode where we find out that Joe West, his son, Wally, is being introduced in the show. All you know, as I said, Wally West is Kid Flash in the comics. So we will find it ended with him entering the house during Christmas. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing Kid Flash probably towards the middle or the end of this season. So in episode 4, when we find out that he has a son and Iris keeps it from him, I said that. Watch them expand that, bring him in. He's going to be Kid Flash, and we're going to have 3 Flashes on this show. So it's crazy.
Family Flashes.
Right. That's the mid-season finale. So we won't be having any more episodes of Flash until a few more weeks from now. So that's about it. I gave the episode an overall, for a finale, I gave it about 9.5. It was pretty put together because it was focusing on Zoom at the same time focusing on other villains in the Flash universe. So tonight will be the Arrow finale, so we'll find out more about what happens about those repercussions we're talking about in the other video about changing the timeline and everything. So any other thing you had to say about the Flash?
No, I don't.
All right, so we're going to be moving on. What will we be moving on to today? I think we're going to be moving on to some entertainment news and probably some technology news.
All right. Well, who usually does that? Well, what kind of creature usually goes after somebody with like vicious, like eating? Who does that?
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
We're not talking about there's no episodes, but there's a reveal that there's a game being made about Michonne. It's going to actually explain. In the comics, actually, she vanishes for a good long time. She like goes to find herself, and basically he's going to explain that journey. He's going to show what she was doing while Rick and them were fighting Negan during this, you know. So it's based off the comic. So it was supposed to be like a one part, but now it's turned into a 3-part series. So it'll be released sometime next year. Another game that was announced was there's going to be another Batman game, but don't get your hopes up. It's not another Rocksteady one.
So it's not.
It's
It might not be good.
Telltale Games will be making them.
They do pretty good, yo.
They do. So instead of actually being Batman like you do in the Rockstar, they're going to be putting us in the shoes of his characterization. So we get to choose his actions, how he basically reacts to certain stuff. You know, maybe we can actually kill someone.
I don't think they're going that far.
We'll see. But basically, you get to choose how Batman is as a hero. If he's good, really dark, you know. I'm excited to see how they're going to do that. It looks like it's going to be a lot based on the comics. You know, it's going to be like animated more in a way. Because, you know, Telltale is a lot like cartoon looking.
It looks very animated.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones, they have that for that game. I'm excited for that. Also, what else do we have for this video? I have some gameplay footage for you. We'll be uploading for Uncharted 4 beta. I was able to actually play one game before their servers went down. So, when you watch the video, you're gonna see a little connection error here and there. But I have not been able to play it since. Hopefully, it starts back up tonight because I do want to give it another go and really focus more on a lot of stuff I wasn't able to play the first time around.
Maybe a little bit of commentary we'll get.
Yeah, so I was trying to do, but it didn't work because I'm like, fuck it, the previous service went down. But from what I've played and what you'll see, they've really changed everything. Now you get to use the rope, you can jump and swing and stuff, and you can actually use items from the other games, treasures. Like I said,
They're like perks.
yeah, you actually buy them. It's crazy during gameplay. So you gain points by killing people, and then you use those points to hit the center button. You know
The touchpad.
Yep, and it brings up a menu. You can either buy an artifact from the game, so you can buy the El Dorado Curse, Chintamani Stone, the Water of Jinn. They had 2 other ones. I think one is from the new game, and the one was from the spin-off game on the PS Vita. So you can use those, and basically, because it's the beta, they only allow you to use one. So for this one, they allow you to use El Dorado Curse. When you do, you throw the statue that they find at the end of the first one, and it unleashes the curse, and everyone dies. Because you know how you get killed? It's like rapid, just death right there. It's really good for like a large group. If you're surrounded by a large group of the team, you just throw it out and wipes them all out.
Cool.
Another thing you can buy is a soldier now.
Like a teammate?
Yep, you can buy a sniper. Okay. You can buy heavy armor guy, a shotgun or a machine gunner. Because of the beta, they give you the heavy machine gun, so the guy just comes down. You'll see in the video, he just blasts everyone. It's very good. So overall, the multiplayer has impressed me. They've really basically stepped up their game this time. I feel like the second and third one were kind of repetitive, and actually, there's something that I know you're gonna love. You know how those guys get you in chokeholds? You now have the opportunity to get out of them.
Oh my god, that was whenever we played, dude. It was just so bad with that. That would always get us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they finally, but the players are actually able to do it, and you can actually counter it now if you hit it at the right time. But I'm so glad they finally put that in.
Seriously.
For the second and third one, it was just like that, and you're dead. I hated that. But hopefully the servers come up. But Naughty Dog is not known for their multiplayer, so that's why I think they're having trouble integrating it. So many people probably trying to play, because they're focused more on their campaigns than anything. So I'm excited, but like I said, we'll be posting that. So check it out. Some Uncharted 4 multiplayer gameplay, and we cannot wait for the final product, which will be out March 18th of next year.
Very excited.
Next year, some big games. All right, and we're actually going to be doing a reaction video for the upcoming Far Cry Primal, which I'm excited for.
Same. I can't wait to see what the trailer's about.
There we go.